Coronavirus would be the best thing that happened to this country. Welcome to the program, everybody. I am 100% in support of a full-scale pandemic of coronavirus in this country. Get people off the streets, out of the malls, into their homes. Get them fucking out of their cars. Close the schools and make the kids shoot their families and not each other. I think it would be a great change of pace in this country for a worldwide flu-like pandemic to hit. I'm in support of it. I look at the cases every day and I get angry there's not more. Everybody go in their house and start a podcast. That's it. There will be nothing left. The economy will collapse. Everybody will become either a podcaster or a cam girl or boy. And you'll either diddle yourself on camera or you'll yell into a microphone. And that's how this society should appropriately disintegrate. With everybody sitting in front of a green screen. Ben and me have talked about this. This is how it ends. Everybody back into the house, in front of the green screen, live streaming and broadcasting. That's it. And just delivery people that brave the elements to deliver us our poke bowls and our General Tao's chicken. That's it. That's exactly how the American experiment should end, with everybody in their home ordering roadcasters and microphones and headphones from Amazon, have them being delivered by drone and live streaming and deciding who's responsible for the pandemic. Is it Jews? Is it fucking, is it the fucking deep state? Who is it? Is it the Chinese, the Chi-Coms? Who did it to us? And we could spend the rest of our lives theorizing about why exactly this is happening. What a great opportunity to, enough with the pop-up stores. And it's an experience. We're having an experience. We're filling these little boots with cheesecake. Enough. Go home. Lockdown. I love that idea. No more fun experiences, no more, vacations. You can't go to Iceland anymore and swim in a hot spring and put it on Instagram. You can't stay in an igloo. You have to just stay in your home. And then you the only money that you'll ever make now, because you can't go outside, the only money you're ever going to make is in super chats. Live streams, Patreon subscriptions, limited selection of merch that's available because we'll have self-driving cars. That is it. And I'm so excited for that. I'm excited for that. And I think everyone should be too. Let's finally do it. Let's finally sever ourselves from the remaining bit of reality that we live in, which is really just annoying. Reality's just annoying now. Traffic and weather, it's annoying. Shut it down. Black out the windows. That's the move. I mean, think about it. So much of what we do now is online. So much of who we are, we're just creatures that respond to stimuli that's delivered to us through our devices. Why have, this fantasy that you're going to go to a national park one day and we'll hike up a hill? Stop. It means nothing. Nature is fake and it's annoying. Go into the darkness and stay there. Put up the green screen. You broadcast nature behind you. We have opted for the darkness because we knew it was coming. We knew coronavirus was coming. You don't think we have a faggoty little studio like everybody else? The Cash App is shoving cash up their ass, so they have a cute little studio. Look, it's so cute. We will edit that out if they invest. They are not sponsoring us yet. We will edit that out. Ben gives me a look like, wait a minute, but not yet. They haven't. So what we've done is we have the darkness now. And if you don't like that, if it's, if audible.com doesn't think this is suitable content, well, then fuck off. It doesn't matter soon. It's not going to matter soon because it's all going to be burning in mass graves. That's right. I hope. I'm only nervous. I get very nervous that this is actually being hyped and inflated by the media and that none of the, ideations in my head will come true. I hope that that's not the case, but there is an argument to be made that actually maybe the media is hyping this up and this is more of a flu and that people that don't have already compromised immune systems, i.e., not the elderly or children, probably won't be that affected by it. That would be the worst case scenario. The best case scenario is within 2 to 3 months, we're starting to see lockdowns. We're starting to see travel bans. We're starting to see schools closed, governments closed. We see a little civil unrest on the edges, on the margins, a couple of Molotovs through the window. Nothing coordinated yet because we need time. And then, it becomes like The Stand, the Stephen King miniseries, which I enjoyed with my father in the 90s, The Stand. We watched it every night. And my father looked at me when I was a child and he said, son, this will happen one day. He was great. He was really good at his job at parenting. He said to me, I was a child, I was like 8 or 9 watching this, and he goes, this is what's going to happen. And they loaded up everybody on military vehicles. And I was excited then. I said, well, that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds like a nice, fun development. Even then, I knew that this was probably heading in the right direction. So every now and then, like when we get a SARS or an avian bird flu, I kind of get excited. And it always turns into nothing. Swine flu's nothing ever. Everything's fake. But, it could be real fun because, and a lot of people are watching this probably, and they're like, this seems heartless and cruel. No, I don't want people to die. I've been clear about that. I just don't want them to leave their homes. I want them to fully integrate into the darkness that we are in right now. I don't want anyone to die. I need listeners. I'm not an idiot. I need people listening to me. What I don't need is people stomping around outside. Outside is the enemy. That's where the disease is. You go back right in your hovel and listen. That's right. Jimmy Fallon and James Corden, they all have to do their shows from maybe their homes, and they have massive estates, so they can, like Jimmy Fallon could still do the Muppets in his estate because he can't leave, and Corden can still, with the top hat and the cane or whatever he does, they can all still do that in their homes. I just think that's going to be great. And then there's going to be people, without shows, and they'll be listening. But I think everyone will start to have a show. That's when things are going to be good. When everyone that you've ever met is sitting at their kitchen table eating cereal in front of a green screen and just ranting. And they haven't showered in days. They've ran out of antidepressants. They're screaming, and they're screaming into the void. You can see they're sunken in eyes, and they're emaciated. They're starting to lose weight because there are shortages now, of course, food shortages. And they're drinking and, whatever drugs they can get their hands on, and they're starting to hallucinate. And their shows are getting really good. They're getting really good. Watching someone degenerate on air is actually very entertaining. It's very entertaining to watch somebody lose it marble by marble. It's fascinating. It's actually a great watch, It would be much better. Instead of having the Tonight Show, they should have a schizophrenic get progressively more insane every single day, and that would be much better, So that's where I'm at with coronavirus. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm unaware of what's going to happen. I'm just saying let's look at the benefits. There's a lot of benefits. Imagine this. Did you see the checkpoint in China when the guy tried to get through it and they just threw a bag over his head and threw him in a van? Imagine that happening on Melrose at a sneaker store. They just start bagging up those little kids, those hype beasts who wait all day to buy Supreme sweatshirts. They just start bagging them because they refuse the checkpoints. They bag the little fucker and put him in, take him out, get him out of here. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. And I think we're being a little, that's just, again, maybe it's, I love that people on cruise ships are getting it. I have a bit about cruises in my act. There is no type of vacation that more defines the fat boomer generation than the cruise. A disgusting floating toilet where fat, privileged pigs can sit and eat and drink and gorge themselves for days and then show up to another fucking island where people used to live before they were cleared out by Carnival and Royal Caribbean and they show up and they just get out and they walk their 400-pound asses around and they buy magnets and fake jewelry and they fucking eat Taco Bell quesadillas and they think they're having a cultural experience. There's nothing more quintessentially American than pulling up to an impoverished third world country in a floating country. Pulling up where there's 60 chefs on some of these boats. 60 chefs. You're pulling up to a country with one doctor, and it's a witch doctor. It's not even a real doctor. It's somebody who waves fucking, ferns at you when you're sick. And so the fact that those people are being quarantined and they're not letting them back on the mainland and they're killing them, I mean, I'm trying to see the negative in this pandemic. I've been trying to see it. I've been trying to see the negative in this pandemic all week. I have people calling me concerned. They're like, somebody called me. I swear to God, my aunt called me. She goes, this is horrible. What if you can't do stand-up comedy anymore and you just have to do your podcast from your house? I went, oh, yeah, baby. Oh, I don't have to walk into a mall and entertain people choking on chicken fingers? No. That's crazy. I just get to communicate with my fans and never see, hear, or touch them? Wow! That does sound like a horror. What a nightmare. Bring on the bubonic plague. Bring it on. There are people that have died. Now, that is sad, and I want to say that. I do want to say that. I don't know any of the people who've died. I get it. I get that is sad. I don't want to sound like a total sociopath. I'm just saying there are silver linings to all the clouds. You know, the stock market's losing money. That's fun. You know, I'm not really invested in the stock market. I don't really care what happens. I don't care. So, I mean, I don't want the economy to completely tank and people not being able to support me via Patreon/The Tim Dillon Show, which you all should be fucking on already because we're doing great work over there. Stop consuming everything for free. Have some pride. Take some pride. Support your local artist. Don't you love when you first get into comedy, you do these horrible shows in the backs of bars and like they make these flyers, these people, and most of these people are delusional psychopaths who should be taken out in the street and shot. And they're comedians, I'm on keto. It's like, we get it. And these people, they put on the flyer, like, support live comedy and support local art and support, it's like, what? It's just so funny, the idea of that. It's like, support live it's like, people do. They do support live comedy. They don't support you. They don't support you. And it's because there's nothing to support. There's nothing to support. Those shows should be done in front of people that are unlucky enough to be boozing their life away in that particular institution on that evening. That's what it is. If you're a drunk and you're not home with your family, you might get somebody yelling into a microphone in your space. That's what it is. I performed in a lot of those bars on Long Island where people were just trying to throw their lives away. And I'm like, hold on, I'm trying to throw my life away. I want to ruin my life. And they're like, I'm here to ruin my life in the quiet, And it was just that tug of war of two groups of people, both wanting to completely sever their relationships with society, trying to figure out who. I've watched bars throw their entire business model was based on doing open mic comedy, and their regulars, the only people they're making money from, were like, what the fuck is going on? I just come here to drink. I come here because it's my local watering hole. It's a gin mill. It's a blood box. I come here, I come here to just fucking disassociate from my fucking life. And then I have to be inundated with a stream of psychopaths who've convinced themselves that they're following their dream. Is there anything more disgusting than when someone's bombing in a bar or something? They go, oh, and no one's listening to them, and no one should be. And they go, oh, it's all right, I'm just living my dream up here. Well, then you have a shitty dream. You have a shitty dream, and no one should respect your dream. Oh, it's just my dream up here. That's all. It's just my dream. That's your dream? To stand by a pool table in a bar and perform to 7 people? Because somebody told you in the cubicle next to you that you had something to say? You have nothing to say until the pandemic, where you will make no money unless you figure out something to say real quick and live stream it. I want to let you know that I'm going to go on DoorDash now and see where the Cheesecake Factory quesadilla order is. We live in Los Angeles. There's not a lot of good Mexican food in Los Angeles. So what we've done is ordered quesadillas from the Cheesecake Factory because they are very good. And a lot of the authentic Mexican in LA, some of it is good, but a lot of it is dog food. And I don't want to eat lizard meat. And, and the guacamole's never good. It's always creamy and it's not, And some Mexican here is great, but I mean, some of it is just like, enough already with it, and there's nothing wrong. A quesadilla, to me, feels American, except unless you go to that place that Dean Del Rey told me about in San Francisco in the Mission District. I forget the name of it. El Farolito. It's amazing. The best steak quesadilla in the United States of America at El Farolito. And it's nice, and you can eat it and then walk directly outside and watch a man pick off the rest of his face. There's nothing better than that. You could watch someone take a nice steaming shit right on the curb. San Francisco, So it's really, really, truly, it should be arriving in 13 minutes. But there was a great thread on Twitter about the Cheesecake Factory. It was a phenomenal thread that somebody wrote. It was just about the aesthetic of the Cheesecake Factory. See if you can find that. See, what's amazing about Ben is young Jamie, of course, would have had it up already because as soon as I mention it, he would start looking for it. But Ben, you have to look directly in his eyes and say to him in unbroken English, can you try to locate the thing I'm talking about now to make the show better? Because that might be interesting. Young Jamie, a crane of Rogan's neck, or just the way Jamie would have it up already. But Ben, you have to say to Ben, like, hi, I'm the host. Can you pull it up? And
I was waiting for more info. You just said
waiting
a
for
thread
more
about
info.
the Cheesecake Factory.
I know. Why start typing in? I was very mysterious. I was very mysterious when I said a Twitter thread about the way the Cheesecake Factory looked, the aesthetics, which means the look of the Cheesecake Factory. Okay. It was very mysterious. How would you possibly know that I wanted you to look for a thread on Twitter about the Cheesecake Factory? I should have emailed you. I should have done show prep, which I refused to do because really, to be honest, fuck you people. We're heading into a pandemic, okay? I've been on shows where they do show prep. They're nightmares, okay? Can you read it?
Yeah, this person deleted their thread, so I have to find it on
Are you serious?
Yeah, but I found it on Mashable, so let me see if I can piece it together.
I wonder if this is I wonder what corner of the internet Ben found, because I don't know if this is clearly the thread that I'm talking about. Like, Ben has found some thread where some guy's like, I was sitting in the Cheesecake Factory and I started thinking about different cultures developed in different parts of the globe, and I'm like, no, that's not it. It's about the way it looks. But I think the argument is that the Cheesecake Factory is the most American restaurant in the country, which I think it is. I don't think that other than McDonald's, I don't know if there's an argument that there's any other restaurant that is more emblematic of our failed experiment than a restaurant called the Cheesecake Factory. A factory that, it's just an amazing...
So the Cheesecake Factory essentially grew out of a Los Angeles bakery business. Then in 1992, they brought on hospitality designer Rick McCormack, and shit went off the rails. We're talking Victorian, Egypt, Rococo off the rails. Check out this exterior. Greco-Roman cornices. Am I saying that right? Cornices? C-O-R-N-I?
Cornices, yeah, the things, yeah.
Okay. Seashells above the pseudo-arced doors, topped with a dome airlifted from fucking St. Basil's. The interior is a world of aesthetic chaos that feels like a mix between a Fry's Electronics, an overgrown Panera, and a laser tag arena. It's sensational. Palm trees sit aside 2000s chic glass lighting fixtures, French limestone floors, mosaics, fresco-like murals. Pseudo-Egyptian faces top columns with hybrid palm, frond, lotus blossom designs, and pseudo-hieroglyphics. It's unchecked white exoticism / Orientalism run amok with a huge budget. Some elements like the face's third eye and the Sauron-like sconces borderline on occult flavor.
Yeah, it's really wild. Now, let me ask you a question. Can you read? Can you actually? That was a
lot of words.
It was a lot. It was uncomfortable for me to watch you go through that. This is because he went to a Christian school where the only word you learn how to spell is Jesus, and no, that was a good job. You did a good job. Listen, there's a lot of words in there. I get it. There's a lot of different words back to back, over and over again. That's the problem. Word after word after word after word. But it is crazy. Like when you were sitting in a Cheesecake Factory, you're like, this doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
You look around and it is this fucking wild. I mean, I used to go there and I would sit there with friends and, it's such a big thing in Long Island. And you would sit there and you'd look around and you would just be like, what is this place? Do they have them in Texas?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mall. They're always in malls.
Yeah.
And they're always massive, and they have these just massive columns. It looks like you're eating in a set from Xena Warrior Princess, It's like you feel like you'd just be sitting there with a bunch of guys drinking jug wine, and then Xena would come in and just start fucking you up, except it's not Xena. It's a suburban real estate agent, and she's eating herb-crusted salmon, which isn't bad. With the lemon sauce, it's not bad. It's not great. Their mashed potatoes are good because they're filled with, they just inject them with, sugar and fat and butter. I have a lot. I got into an argument with somebody the other day. They were like, "Oh, you act like you're a foodie and everything, but you're kind of white trash because you like condiments." There's this anti-condiment movement going on right now, which I want to address. It was one of my friend Michael, who is genuine white trash, whose nose has this arch in it. Listen, if you're low-born, there's nothing wrong with this. If you're high-born, I have a European facial structure. Now, many of you don't notice that because I'm fat, but go look at me when I was a child. It's a European facial structure. Now, what that means is I have an angular face like an Abyssinian cat. An Abyssinian's an Egyptian cat. Not Ari Shaffir Jewy, where it's sunken in and weird. But it was an angular face. And then I got fat, so then I got the American pie, like an apple pie, fat. But that's not me. That's what I've done to myself. So I am high-born. Now, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying it makes you better than anyone, but inherently and biologically it does. Low-born people, my friend Michael has a nose I'm trying to look at Ben. Ben's nose is not bad. It's really not bad. It's noses are important. Like my friend Michael, yours is fine.
Thank you.
Michael has you've seen Michael's nose,
yes.
Right? What is it? It's like bent.
It has a bit of a hook.
But it's not Jewy.
Jewy.
Hook-nosed Jews run the world.
Yeah.
We're not shitting on them, and don't isolate that. What I'm saying is that there's nothing. When I see a big nosh on a Jew, I know that I'm dealing with somebody that's fucking got, in most cases, has their shit together. But Michael he has that white trash face. It's kind of a bent nose where it has a little bend in the middle of it, and it just screams working class. It just screams like you're a nobody. When I see that crooked, bent nose, I go, you're a nobody. You're a factory worker. You're a slob. You're punching in. You know what? And I support all those people, but you feel they're identifiable. And so Michael's telling me he doesn't like condiments, he doesn't like ketchup, and he doesn't like mayonnaise. Shut up. You know what I mean? First of all, the only problem with mayonnaise is that there's too much of it. Mayonnaise is an essential component, but it can't be an individual. It's not supposed to be a component on the sandwich. It's supposed to be an enhancement. So what happens is, because Americans are fat, disgusting, irredeemable slobs, they've taken this gook and then just slapped it on things, and it's gotten bad. It has all kinds of flavors. It's not supposed to be like that. But there's no argument against mayo. It's just there's too much of it. And when there's too much of it, it is gross. It is disgusting. But he's like, oh, ketchup's for white trash, ketchup, barbecue sauce, mustard, and all that stuff. What are you saying? What are you saying? This is a kid that I got in an argument with because he said he was going to pick me up from the airport, pick me up for the airport. He offered. He said to me, I'll pick you up and drive you to the airport. Listen to this. And then after all, I'm going to give out his phone number and his address. But listen to this. I don't want to announce that should I say that he's?
Say whatever you want. I can cut it out if you don't.
No, we're not cutting it out. He's having a baby.
Oh, okay.
He's going to have a baby.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, take him to the airport. Here's the thing. You said to me, I'll pick you up. This is why he doesn't pick me up, this piece of shit. It is a half hour before he's supposed to be at my house, like 8 o'clock in the morning at 7:30. Yeah. He calls me. I don't answer. Now, I don't answer because I'm asleep, but it doesn't matter. I could have been in the shower. When you say I'm going to be there at 8, what do? You be there at 8, right? You don't call a half hour before. I'm not canceling my trip. You know I need the ride. And then he says, I'm not coming. I'm not coming to. So I'm like, how do I get the kid back? And I thought long and hard about it. I was like, should I? Because his mom died of pancreatic cancer last year. I'm like, should I deface her grave? Is there a way to deface? I've never even defaced a grave but you could hire people, right, to deface a grave. What if you dug her up? These are the thoughts I'm having in my head. Now, I understand. These are the thoughts I'm having in my head. And this is one of my best friends. I love the guy, and he's been very good to me. I think DoorDash might be here. He's been very good to me, and I do love him. He's like a brother, but I'm like, what if we dug up his mother? Or deface the grave? You know what I mean? Put swastikas on it. Try to get her kicked out of the cemetery. Then I was like, maybe, because I know his dad and I have his dad's phone number. I love his father. His father's a great man. Could I pay people to call his father as his mother in the middle of the night and pretend that it's the mother calling the father, and maybe she's like, I'm in hell. What did you do to me? I'm in hell. I'm thinking about, like, how do I creatively do something, because you don't not drive someone to the airport. Mm-hmm. It's not right. Mm-hmm. It's not right. I confronted him about it, and he's like, oh, I have Uber. Can you leave it in the, we're going to wrap up. We'll eat, and then we're going to come back and do more. But come here for a second, Brian, because I want your thoughts on this. What if because I have his father's number. I love his father. His father's a good man. But is it fun to get back at him by having someone call the father in the middle of the night as the dead mother and claiming to be in hell? Like she goes, I'm in hell. What did you do to me? So I'm like, now I found out, oh, he's having a baby. Do we kill his child? Like, these are all because you don't not show up to somebody for the airport.
What about the dog?
I blocked his dog on Instagram. His dog is on Instagram. I blocked his dog because I didn't want him trying to get to me through the dog.
Right.
I've started talking to him since then. But he doesn't deserve me as a friend. He doesn't deserve a celebrity friend. He's in the weed business, which is the most boring thing ever. And he drones on and on about grow operations. No one gives a fuck. Shut up, dummy. No one cares what you're talking about at all with your fucking weed business.
Yeah.
You're fucking working for a drug dealer, okay? He's not Warren Buffett. He's a fucking drug dealer. And and that's every weed company. That's fine. I'm glad you're making money doing it. I don't think it should be illegal, but let's not talk about it like it's a fascinating fucking bit. It's just not. It's not a fascinating bit. Oh, what are you have the weed and people buy the weed. Shut up. We get it. Enough. You're a boring fuck. So usually he is. He's just a boring, pouty little bitch. He pouts a lot. He's always like, you know. So he's dating someone who's going to have his child who is in the Dreamer program. She's a dreamer. Okay. Can I get her deported? I mean, genuinely, can I get her to commit a crime? Can I convince her to commit a crime? Can I goad her to commit a crime so I could get her deported? These are all thoughts that are appropriate. These are appropriate thoughts. You can't let people fuck you. Am I wrong here?
No.
I didn't do a lot of this. It takes too much effort. We put too much money into the studio. I can't hire people to deface graves. I can't pay everyone. I got too many. I'm paying this guy. I can barely talk. He can barely talk. He can't look anything up. I should have him deface a grave. I should tell him that's part of what he's doing now. You go and deface a grave. I've decided not to. I've decided to start speaking to him again on a limited basis to see if he can earn the friendship back. But enough with the tell me I can't have condiments, you know? But this is the thing, is like, how do you get anyone back now? How do you get anyone back? You can either cut them off or you have to go big. You really have to go big. You know, we're going to take a break now. We probably need to reheat the quesadillas anyway because, you know, it's the traffic in the city is like you order something, you get it 3 days later. They've eaten half of it. You know what I mean? These people, a lot of these people living in their vehicles, it's very hard. Like they're sleeping on a fucking pizza box. It's like, it's an utter nightmare here, which is why, what a joy a pandemic would be. What a great change of pace. Everybody who's like mad about the pandemic, they're all the worst people. They're all the worst. Oh my God, I hope I'm just so upset 'cause we're going to Mexico and it's coronavirus. I hope that it doesn't. Oh, I hope it does. I hope it does. I hope you're wheezing on a beach. I hope you're wheezing on a beach somewhere. I hope your girls' weekend goes so south so quickly. I hope you're wheezing on a beach. And I hope that there's fucking little Chinese guys with fucking, you know, like those big fucking bug nets, and they're just fucking throwing them over you because that's what happened to the other guy. And that's where I'm thinking. But I'm going to be friendly again with Michael. But I mean, wasn't he wrong?
He was in the wrong completely. He should take you out maybe on a vacation, or you should rent a house out in Malibu for the weekend, I think. You should go big.
These are good ideas to win back my friendship.
Would that be enough for you? Something like that?
No. It would be a start. It would be a start to open a dialogue.
Yeah.
I think that would be a start to open a dialogue.
Okay.
He is really one of my best friends. He's helped me out when I was like, he's lent me money before when I wasn't doing well and everything like that. But listen, we can't live on the old times. You know what I mean? Like we have to realize I would feel weird like going and defacing his mother's grave.
Yeah.
That would probably be too much, right? You think so?
Yeah.
Ben's saying
I think
that
it's illegal also.
Ben's saying that because he's a Christian. He believes in all this mumbo jumbo. Believe in all this mumbo jumbo. When I'm dead, I want you to take me out and fucking party on and fucking throw my fingers in a restaurant and stuff. I want you to take my rotting corpse, use it in a political I don't even have to agree with what your stance is. You just take my rotting corpse and go all over the place with it. Animate me or whatever. I mean, I'm for it, you know? I just hope that people aren't listening to the show and they've found out that, or they think that I'm a bad person because I had some of those thoughts, because those are normal thoughts to have when you are wronged like that by a friend who says, I'm on my way to work now. I called you, you didn't answer. I thought something was up, so I turned around and went the other way. What? Excuse me? No good. No good. So I thought there would have been nothing wrong with, you know, or calling, or I was thinking about accusing him of rape. Like as a woman, creating a woman or paying a woman or several women potentially to accuse him of rape. Or to call his parent, like his father and his brother, and say I was raped. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do any of it because I'm, you know. But this is what they call a proportional response.
He has your AirPods also.
You know, now that I think about it, he still does have my AirPods. I had to go buy $200 AirPods. Yeah. I'm going to deface the grave. I think I'm going to deface the grave. I really think, what if I just write Trump 2020 on the grave? And so people think she's a Trump supporter. All right, let's go eat. We'll be back. All right, we're back, everybody. I did a spot at the Comedy Store in L.A. A lot of fun. We are on the second leg of the show. We're slightly calmer. I filled in for Eliza Schlesinger. And me and her have different fan bases, so there was a lot of hot chicks in the show with the boots up on the stage. But it was a great set. They were a fun audience, and I'm thankful that I was, you know, thanks for putting me in, Coach. A lot of fun. Some of the women, you know, chatted during my set, but I get it. If you come to see her and you get me, it's a little bit of a culture shock. You know, I get it. She's very successful. I met her once, and we had a little bit of it was like, it wasn't great, our meeting. It wasn't phenomenal. I don't, I'm not going to go into it. I don't want to start airing, whatever. It wasn't anything memorable. She wouldn't remember me. It's just like, people said to me, they're like, do you have any opinion on the Pete Davidson Louis thing? And Pete specially described it. I'm like, yeah, I have an opinion on it. They're both millionaires and I'm not. So I'll stay out of it and I'll let them handle it. And I'll ask them to, buy me a donut. That's my position. What's your position on the Louis David? What? I don't know either of them. What are you talking about? They're both doing great. I got a studio here in an apartment. We're trying to live, trying to survive. I got to fucking decide which one of them I want to alienate. I support both of them. I agree with both of you, fine sirs. And if either one of you want to produce anything I'm doing, let's. Hillary Clinton is starting a podcast, and many people know my affinity for Hillary Clinton. And I don't even mean as a joke. I do respect. You can't be a student of history and not have some level, I don't want to use the word affection, but you are in awe of certain people's abilities, even if they are murderers, even if they have sexual problems, as her husband seems to. But you look at a guy like that, who was a Rhodes Scholar, smart guy. The human brain is fascinating. Some of the most talented people in the world have things that are deeply wrong with them. Michael Jackson, maybe Woody Allen. I don't know. Maybe. Allegedly, like, brilliant people, insanely talented people in certain cases have real issues. Bill Clinton was an incredibly gifted political mind. Watch his speeches. Watch his ability to communicate with people. He would go into a room and make these, single mothers think he gave a fuck. Mm. And he wanted to fuck. He didn't give a fuck. He wanted to fuck. It's an amazing skill set. And there's very few people that I've seen have things that approximate that skill set up close. Some people are magic. I've met a few people that are magic, have those qualities. Gerard Carmichael, comedian, producer, has a quality of magic where when you're talking to him, you feel like you're the only person he's talking to or thinking about, or he makes you feel very good. Now, he's a good guy. I'm not saying that this is not, who he is, but I'm also saying that, like, it's a skill. It's a skill. Some of these people are great salesmen. Some of them are great politicians. None of the words, because the word salesman makes you think of somebody like me. It doesn't make you. What I'm trying to describe is hard to really put into words because it's a magical quality that certain people have, star power, whatever you want to say. It's infectious. You want them to like you. You trust them. Hillary Clinton did not have any of that. She didn't have it. Her husband had it. Hillary has a lot of other qualities. She's a great deal maker. She's a great behind the scenes operator. She's, a tough bitch. She knows how to, string up a noose. Metaphorically. But Clinton was elected the governor of he went to, where did he go? Georgetown, Yale, Harvard, Oxford. Yale, Oxford, Georgetown. His mentor was a guy named Carol Quigley, who wrote a book called Tragedy and Hope, which is this huge, epic history of the world in our time. Talks about, the Eastern establishment, the Anglo-American empire, everything. It's really a history of everything. And, people have put it, as it's like they've said the genre is, conspiracy literature, but it's really, it's much more than that. It's really an amazing compendium of all of these councils and all of these groups of people that have shaped and continue to shape the world. And that was Clinton's mentor. And Clinton was elected to governor of Arkansas, I believe at 31. He was like the boy governor. He was a young governor. Right about the time the CIA was flying, planes full of coke into Mena, Arkansas, and dropping off that so that we could put it into inner cities and fund the Contras. It was, there's so much evidence of that. And Clinton was, like, hey, kept his mouth shut. There were two boys who were hanging out down by where one of those drops was happening. And I think their name were like Kevin Lyles and Don something. I don't know. The Boys on the Tracks was the documentary about it or the film about it. And they were somewhere in this secret airfield or wherever where they had witnessed something they should not have witnessed. And then, like many young teens do, they ended up smoking marijuana and falling asleep on the train tracks. Well, I've smoked a lot of weed and I've never fallen asleep on the train tracks, but this is the story. You have their names?
Don Henry and Kevin Ives.
Yeah, Kevin Ives and Don Henry. And they ended up, falling asleep on the train tracks and getting killed. Nobody bought this. But, they witnessed something they shouldn't have witnessed. This is when, and is Clinton the governor at this time? I'm pretty sure he is.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, Clinton's the governor of Arkansas during this time. So again, this is, his bona fides are established here. He then is mentored and guided. Then he ends up at like the Bilderberg Conference. Again, as the governor of Arkansas. What does the state of Arkansas have to say about international finance? Not much. But he ends up there. And then he ends up getting elected to the presidency twice and defeating George H.W. Bush, friend of the show. Done many episodes on him. Many episodes on the Bush family. Don't worry about them. They get it popping, There's no shrinking violets over there. They're deeply connected, much deeper than the Clintons. The Clintons were like trash, in the sense that they were, being... but the people that make the Clintons, like, and I do it too as a joke, you make them like into a boogeyman. They're not running the show. They're amoral people. That is why I do it, because I want you to know how amoral your leaders are. But when it comes, the Bushes were deeply connected to the intelligence apparatus, deeply. But Hillary is now starting a podcast. My friend Hillary. I mean, I don't want to do a million hack jokes about her podcast. It's just, here's what I will say. How far the mighty have fallen. How far the mighty have fallen. From the world stage. from murdering Vince Foster, from arranging the suicides of many of your Secret Service people, from the Clinton Global Initiative laundering dark money from all over the world, from the Epsteins, from the islands, from Little St. James, to reading an ad for Blue Chew. How the mighty have fallen. It comes for all of us at the end, doesn't it, folks? I talked about it earlier in the show. I watched a little bit of CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference. I want to say this, and I want to be clear. Whether you are a young college kid at CPAC in khakis and a blue blazer, or you're in skinny jeans at a Brooklyn DSA meeting, if you are actively involved in politics when you're young, you are a closeted homosexual. That is it. If you and a bunch of other men are going into hotel rooms to debate each other, stop it. You're wrong. You want to suck their cock. I get it. I did it. I was on the debate team. I get a bunch of dudes in suits walking around a hotel showing off their brains, their big, hard brains. I get it. That might not be all of you, but the amount of hot sex going on at CPAC right now, the amount of people taking balls to the chin after listening to Kimberly Guilfoyle Newsom, that con artist. Remember her? I mean, you got to respect the level of grifter and con artist that's at CPAC. She was engaged. She was like married to Gavin Newsom, who ran San Francisco. He was was he the governor of California? He's the governor of California now. And now she's dating Donald Trump Jr. And then the pit stop between those two was Fox News. God love her. God love her. Because there's a version of her in Tampa getting railed out by a failed real estate developer doing lines of coke on her waterfront property that's really 3 blocks from the beach. But she fucked her way into the White House-ish. They're probably not allowed any. But good for her, these con artists. And the Democrats aren't any better. I mean, if you're at a political conference, what are you doing? Didn't you hear what I just said about Mena, Arkansas? And you think anything Mercedes Schlapp is saying? Google Mercedes Schlapp. Who's this? Who's this broad? She's getting up in front of a conference room. Socialism's bad. It's an honor to die.
You want to know who she is?
I'd love to know who she is I can hate on her.
She's an American lobbyist and columnist.
Oh, great.
She served as White House Director of Strategic Communications in the Trump administration. Since July 2019, she has worked on the Trump 2020 re-election campaign. These
people, by and large, have nothing to say. The Republican Party has been devoid of anything. Listen, guys like Bill Kristol, these guys justified genocide, but at least they wrote books. Like, at least they knew how to speak. The clown car of grifters, liars, and thieves that has become the modern Republican Party is kind of hilarious. And, listen, not that the Democratic Party, I don't have to say this, you have 9 people having a breakdown on the debate stage every night. And the CIA and the fucking billionaires send in Mike Bloomberg, who has far less charisma than Muammar Gaddafi. You know what I mean? This guy, he's trying to literally steal the election from people that are. Tom Steyer is criminally insane. And I support him. I'm a Steyer stan. But he just performed with Juvenile. He just does a rap thing with Juvenile. I think they were doing Back That Ass Up, which is a great song. But Tom Steyer's a billionaire. He's dancing on the stage. The country's a joke. It's a literal joke that you would pitch this show in a writer's room and get told to sober up. Nobody would believe this. These are billionaires that are bored. and they're getting out there and performing with rap. So you go to CPAC, and you watch everybody fight it out. Everybody's talking about taxes, and they just want to suck each other's cocks. And why not? They find some drag queen who went into a library, and we're all at. By the way, not only have I never seen a drag queen in a library, I've never seen a library. Where are these libraries? Who's reading? Who are all these children being read? Who's reading? Where are the reading programs? I mean, I've already gone on record and said that it seems very forced and weird that drag queens are in libraries reading to kids. Odd. They're in weird costumes. They're not overtly sexual, but in some of these dances they do are suggestive and strange. I'm like, what the fuck? I see this and I have a natural aversion to anything that's sexual. But it's also interesting that it's being portrayed as a national epidemic. That, like, it's just happening all over the place. And it's like, and a lot of it is because the economic policies don't work. And no one can get anything done in Washington because, like, it's just gridlock and nothing gets done. So you just get a tax cut. They flood the market. They keep the interest rates low. They suppress them artificially. You know, I mean, it's just wages don't go up. Healthcare doesn't get fixed. Everything ends up costing more money. There's a certain amount of rage that people have. So you got to, like, direct it at the real problems in the country. The drag queen in the library and Colin Kaepernick, because that's what they're talking about at CPAC. Those are the big problems. Colin Kaepernick and the drag queens at the library are the reason that you went bankrupt 3 times because of a knee operation. It's like, and it's just the people that are at CPAC. And I'm not a model, but some of the people at CPAC, like the way they look, like the German anti-Greta, and I've said Greta is creepy and strange, and I think it's weird that Democrats have no problem throwing a 17-year-old girl into the ring with Donald Trump. I mean, it's barbaric. You shouldn't have kids making points. I don't care what David Hogg thinks. I don't care what Greta thinks. How dare you? Like, I don't want children. I don't need to be lectured to by children. And I think it's pretty fucked up to trot children out and let them just get attacked. But this girl looks, I mean, Naomi whatever.
Naomi's Siept.
I mean, this one.
She describes herself as a climate realist. Has also had to deny she made remarks that could be seen as anti-Semitic following an attack on a synagogue last year.
I stand her. We stand her here now. I mean, I didn't know she was real. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know what she's... She's like, what I've learned about climate is the Jew will come. Like, she's at CPAC, and she's like, they're like waving her down. They're like, they're giving her the light. They're like, it's time to go. You know, at the end of her speech, she's like, the Jew comes into your country, and they start to manipulate the weather. The weather. And they're like, all right, give her a hand, everyone. Give her a hand. Thanks so much. Fun. Can you imagine going to a political conference? What type of loser do you have to be standing in a ballroom listening to these people speak? Any party. The same thing with the DSA people that are in Brooklyn when all that shit. They can't even afford a hotel. They could if their parents paid. But it's the same. It's like, listen, I'm not telling you not to help people, but this is not helping. None of this is helping. Showing up to the Gaylord Hotel, hilarious, which is such a trashy hotel. My friend Michael, we spoke about him earlier, was like, if you go to Dallas, you got to stay at the Gaylord Hotel. It's perfect. It's big. It's ready. It's grotesque. If you look at the Gaylord Hotel, they're grotesque.
I've been to it. It's trash.
It's trash.
They have a big ice sculpture thing you can see on Christmas.
Yeah, they have a river walk.
Yeah.
San Antonio has a river walk. Everyone in San Antonio is 450 pounds, okay? and they scoot down the river and they just eat churros. Okay, and they don't share them with the birds. The birds in San Antonio are emaciated. They're about to die. The birds on the river are about to die because no one throws them any bread. There's not one carb that gets thrown to a bread at the San Antonio Riverwalk. So the Gaylord Hotel has a fucking Riverwalk. Like, I'm going to walk around the Riverwalk. So it's like, and I listen, some of the kids that went to CPAC are friends with me on Instagram. Like one of these kids, I forget his name, but he works for like Tucker Carlson's thing. And like when we made they wanted to interview me. Somebody reached out from the Daily Caller. They're like, we'd like to interview you. I'm like, let's not. Let's just not. You know what I mean? Somebody also sent in a request from like Love It or Leave It, that podcast.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, we want to interview you. I'm like, let's not. I interview myself for several hours. We're good. We're good. That's okay. And then they were like, well, you should do a video for us. I'm like, oh, I'm just independent. We just do independent videos. Thank you. I appreciate it. They're not bad kids, right? They're stupid because they're young and they don't realize that nothing they do matters. And I get it. I get wanting to be part of things. It's the job and it's fun and it's a convention. And it's like, I mean, listen, when we do the convention, a real convention, a sales convention in Arizona at a Marriott for young entrepreneurs that want to get involved in a new company called Jules by podcaster Tim Dillon, I will show you what a real convention is. Okay? And it's not listening to Dan Crenshaw. I mean, can you stop? War is good. I mean, what is the message over there at CPAC? What is the message? Let's just get the last of Earth's resources and have a fun time doing it. What's the thesis statement of that group at this point? Healthcare's great. Shut the fuck up. Everybody's fine. If you have an issue, start a hedge fund. What's the thesis statement anymore of the group? You know? RuPaul's coming to kidnap your kids. Colin Kaepernick's dishonoring our honorable police who keep shooting black people in the face. Everybody I know in high school that grew up that used to bully retarded people is now a police officer. Everybody I know in high school that used to spit in the face of retarded people now has a gun. And we're all supposed to pretend that that's some type of coincidence. One guy I went to high school was like a baseball guy. A bunch of guys I went with going to be athletes, and that didn't work out. They got injured, and now they're cops. I'm sure they're not angry. I'm sure they're not mad at all. And listen, I'm just shitting on the conservatives because they had the conference. When the liberals have their conference, I mean, God only. People identifying themselves by, what is your gender? You could have 9 name tags with your preferred gender, how far away someone has to stand when they talk to you in case you have a breakdown, the medications you're on so that you could leave your hotel room and function, how loud someone can be. Please don't clap near me. I mean, we saw the DSA thing where they were like, that's coming, and I'll shit on that when it's here. It's just... Imagine it would end my friendship with someone if they're like, I'm going to the political convention. What? Yeah, I want to go see Kimberly Guilfoyle Newsom. I want to hear her take. And they just get up there, they're like, socialism. What does Representative Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee think? What? I mean, that's the whole thing over there. But there's probably some really, really hot gay sex happening at CPAC. It's just what it is. I guarantee you those Grindr apps are going crazy because a lot of these very eloquent, articulate young men are gay. My friends are all straight. They're retarded. My friend, go get my friend and go ask Michael what he thinks about the global economy. I don't like weed. I like pussy and weed. That's what straight men sound like, for the most part. Not all of them. Not all of them. But young college dudes that are getting pussy, they're not reading, unless they're total sociopaths like Bill Clinton, and they want to just rape. This is what I mean. If you're that articulate and you get really excited, like you're on the speech and debate team and you get really excited, and a lot of those guys are like, the moral fiber of America is being threatened. You're like, okay, you have cum coming out of your ears. The faggotry that is the college debate about politics is like hilarious. It's just hilarious. So like we have to notice that. In the same way that these emaciated far left weirdos who can't even cum because they're on SSRIs and 20 other medications, they cum dust. And they don't even have sex. They just hold somebody else and cry together and rub their genitals together until they get warm. It's just... How about we tell everyone under 25 to take a knee? Shut up. Vote. But go live a little. You don't have to be at the Gaylord Hotel listening to people. Vote, do whatever you want, but it's like enough with the Gretas and this is why I got to get lectured by a 19-year-old who's a climate realist. She doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. You're 19. You don't know anything. You don't know that Hillary and Bill, you don't know how they got. That's why you start talking about the Bushes and the Clintons. You're kind of in awe to a degree. I'm like, these little pieces of shit at CPAC, you think that's all it is? You think that's all it is? To get on a fucking stage and say they're low taxes, they're good? No, you gotta kill people. You gotta kill people. Are you willing to kill people, you fraud? You gotta have private islands with blackmail operations set up. You gotta overthrow fucking democratically elected governments and install dictatorships, and you got to do it all while you're dancing on Ellen. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what the sacrifice is really like. You fucking retard. You're getting up at CPAC. Socialism bad, capitalism good. You don't fucking know what you have to do. It's like these young comics who are like, I had a good set. Why aren't I famous? Because you don't know what that you have to do. Billie Eilish is killing people out there, slitting throats. She's a Mossad agent. That's what frustrates me. People are shitting on Hillary. You don't know what that bitch did? Kimberly Guilfoyle Newsom, you're a cheap whore. Hillary's a real bad bitch. She's a real murderer. So I'm just saying these kids don't know what it is. These millennial snowflake cunts whining about their student loans don't understand the work it takes to run this country. The dungeons, the blood, the narco trafficking. It's not just going and having a fun little debate at CPAC. And after you do all of that, and after you murder, and you kill, and you maim, and you torture, after you do all of that, you're still thrown in the street. After you do a Comedy Central special, and a Netflix special, and a pilot, and you have another show being produced by a big producer whose name I don't want to mention because I don't know if he'll work with me again, probably not, but whatever. The point is, you're still thrown in the street, Hillary or Tim. And what do you have to do? You have to start a podcast. So welcome, Miss Clinton. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is where we're all at, bitch. I know what it is. They say you're going to get a certain amount of ads every show, and you're not going to fucking get them because they're lying. But you do a good job on the ads you have. You read that Blue Chew ad. You read that ad, bitch. You get them to buy the Ridge wallets, Hillary, because we're all in the same bag bowl of shit now. That's what it is. You were high on the horse, jet setting, arranging executions. You were doing it all. You were doing the most. And now You're here with the rest of us, with the Legion of Skanks, with My Favorite Murder, with Come Town, with myself. You're here with all of us. You're 3 years away from doing Skankfest. And you don't even know it. And those people open their arms to you. That's your new fan base, Hillary. Done with the global finance and the shadowy intelligence intrigue. Goodbye, international power brokers. Hello, Manscaped. But that's what it is. Welcome to the show, Hillary. I, for one, welcome you. I think you've got a lot to say. I think it could be very interesting. Don't get a co-host. Do it on your own. Get good. Learn how to broadcast. Learn how to be personal. Build an empire like we're all trying to do by podcasting. Because that's the only economy left. Do you understand? Welcome, Mrs. Clinton. I'm honored to have you as a colleague. And good luck. And we are here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It is the Corona Cast. Tim Dillon, Ben Avery, our producer, braving the new reality here from the studio. Broadcasting, this is it. I don't always want to be right, but sometimes I'm right. I said that music in America would be, sooner rather than later, just a large bulbous ass that would shake. Then Lizzo went and famously performed in front of a large shaking ass. This is true. I made a lot of other predictions that were right. I can't think of what they are now, but there was a few of them. There was actually a few of them. There was one that was recent. It was after the Lizzo one, where I predicted it, and people were like, "Fuck, it's exactly what you said."
Oh, you said eventually the biggest stand-up is going to be someone dancing around on TikTok with just like jingles and jangles, like he's not even saying anything.
Yes.
And that's the biggest stand-up video on TikTok.
Right.
Right?
Well, that was one of them. I said a lot of things. I have a great track record. Okay? And I said last week, I believe, that the only economic activities left will be what I'm doing right now and the double penetration scene from Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Those are the two options you have to earn money right now. Or Postmates. No matter what happens, forever there will be Postmates. Thank God. Someone with a mask will hand you a Pokeball through a door or a slot, and they will scurry away into the darkness. Mm-hmm. Forever and ever, no matter if the Yellowstone supervolcano goes off and ash blocks out the sun, there will be creatures that adapt in that environment to glow and deliver Postmates. It's just the one constant we have in America, hopefully. Mm-hmm. We don't know what's going on. This is something that's very interesting. I watched everybody become a conspiracy theorist over the last 2 years, maybe even more than that. I watched it happen on the right. I watched it happen on the left. I watched normies, people that had never given the Kennedy assassination a second thought, that had never read books like The Franklin Scandal. I watched them go hard into conspiracies. I watched people on the left go hard into intrigue, espionage, trying to figure out the Russiagate issue. I've watched it, and I've watched it be done recklessly, sloppily, as you would imagine people do when their minds melt. It's what happens after you spend an entire lifetime in the mainstream and you're just, eating tomato soup with grilled cheese, and you're just out there trying to go to college or get your kids into college. Where's a fun spot for a vacation? What kind of dog is good with the kids? We have a decent-sized yard. It's nothing crazy. He'll have some space, but, how much activity? Like, you go from that to Epstein overnight. Your mind melts. It's true. You go from that to waking up that your leaders are no good. Worse than you thought. Bad in ways you can barely comprehend. Unimaginable. Overnight, that happens. How can I get mad at you? How can I get mad at these QAnon people, even though many of them are, I believe, to be functionally retarded? And I mean, unfortunate people. How can I get that mad at them when they're forced to adapt to this new world where the conclusions you come to are so blackpilling, so empty, that you are forced to concoct stories in your head about what is really happening? And just like I watched that, I watched people last week become preppers. I watched people become end-timers over the last week and a half. People that had nothing but positive things to say are now changing their tune. And I kid around and saying that we've been preparing for this type of thing for a long time, but I mean, look. This is the set. We are the broadcasters at the end of the world. I am the anchor man at the end of the world. It's not Ted Koppel. It's me. It's not the guy who went on NBC, could barely make sense anymore. Tom Brokaw, he went on NBC, could barely speak. No, it's me. I'm the anchor man at the end of the world, and it doesn't make me happy. It doesn't please me, but it doesn't shock me either. I'm not surprised by it. I'm not surprised that a corrupt oligarchy of clowns didn't anticipate and or bungled the response to a pandemic. This is what happens when you erect a society run by sociopaths who don't care. They, as Kurt Vonnegut said, they get to where they go. They get to the places, they ascend to those positions of power because they don't care what happens next. They just go, do it, do that, do this, do that, do that. They don't contemplate. They don't sit back. They're not thoughtful, contemplative people. They're doers, not thinkers. So when you're a doer, it all works until it doesn't. Trump is great in boom times. He's, an 80s political cartoon. Money's being made. Things are good. Now, it's a little bleak. He doesn't look great. He looks like he might have a touch of corona. We are recording this Friday. Everything's changing so much by the hour
Yeah.
that I want to let you know we're recording this Friday. Because I don't know. I heard New York City was going to be in quarantine by now. It still may happen. We all got that text from somebody. Everybody's got a friend that's highly placed in the government, by the way, during the pandemic. Nobody can get you a fucking parking pass. Nobody can help you at all when it's not a pandemic. Not one human being can do anything for you. They can't get you a reservation at a restaurant. They can't help you at all. But at the end of the world, everybody's got a highly placed source in the government that's delivering terrible news, and they want you to hear it first. And I heard that they were going to quarantine New York City. Seems like it's an eventuality that certain areas are going to get quarantined. Then, BuzzFeed had that thing quoting the NYPD saying that's all fake. It's not going to happen. There's no plans, which is great how they get out of it. They're like, there's no plans at this time. At this time is a great way to say anything, at this time.
No plans to shut down roads, which is what a quarantine would be, shutting down the in or out. Whether they get people to stay in their house or they, after the Boston Marathon bombing, they shut down Boston and told people to stay in their homes, okay, until they caught the terrorists. We're not going to go into that, but that's, Now, we're thinking about, Drudge Report today, headline, nationwide shutdown being talked about. What does that mean? What does that look like? How do you shut down a country of 350 million people? How do you keep all of those people in their homes? There's a lot of people and a lot of guns. I'm not even saying it might not be necessary. On some level, you have to stop the transmission of this thing. You have to curb the transmission, unless we're all going to be fucked. If you look at Italy, you look at these other countries, we're following the same path they are. Our healthcare infrastructure, by the way, not that much better than Italy. I know that, but we're America. No, we have more people, and many of our systems are as unprepared, or maybe even more unprepared than than there are in other parts of the world. So I wouldn't take any false confidence. In the idea that we are a first world country. Well, we are in some respects, in a lot of respects, but, we're going to put that to the test. Also, it's also like you have the conspiracy people going, they don't believe in the virus. That doesn't seem helpful. But it is interesting. I do understand because their minds have been melted over the past couple of years, and you're dealing with candle wax minds, broken brains. I do understand because the government's like, well, we can't test you. If you feel symptoms, don't go to the hospital. Don't get tested. You start going, is this happening? Is this real? Are we going to go to fucking the hospital and see a bunch of nurses playing cards? What's the deal? What do you mean don't get tested if you have symptoms? What's that mean? We don't have any fucking tests? That's not good. It's a problem. I understand. They're like, well, you're not susceptible to it. Da 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 da. I was the first comic to cancel my shows. I have shows in 2021 canceled right now. I canceled the tour after the Cancel Your Family tour. I cannot believe I was watching people debating. There's people doing shows tonight.
Where?
DC Improv, Zany. Guys, shut it down. Shut it down. Some of these people I know for a fact have money.
Yeah.
They have money and they have mansions. Go home. You sick narcissists. Do you really need approval from people that badly that you're willing to go home and kill your grandmother because you couldn't walk out of fucking Zanies? Is that where we're at now? You're willing to risk coughing on an old person on the train and killing them because you want to get some chuckles up in Winnipeg? Shut it down, please. It's a moral issue. I understand if you're broke. A lot of comics out there broke, and they got to get every dollar. I get it. I get it. I'm not going at you if you have to work. If you choose to work, it is what it is. If you have the money to not work right now, as a comic, don't fucking work. Don't bring your fans out. People were angry at me for canceling Caroline's and a few other dates. I'm canceled through early April. Listen, fucker. A lot of shit ain't worth comedy. I love comedy. It's how I live my life. It's the greatest thing I do is get up and perform in front of people. But I could take some fucking time off if the result of me doing what I like to do kills people. You see? See, if me doing what I want to do kills people, then I'll take a breather. Take some time. Podcast. Make a video. I don't know what to tell you. But I love how reticent people were to cancel. They were like, well, am I supposed to not? People paid to see me. They paid to see me and get killed. I was first. I called my agent last week. I said, let's take it out. Nobody was even talking about coronavirus. I was like, just cancel. Goodbye. Next. 2021. Take a red pen and a big X out. X done. Who are these fucks that need to work? What's wrong with you? It's a sick day times 1,000. What kind of cuck are you? Showing up to the office? They told us we don't have to show up to the office. We can go home, jerk off and eat SpaghettiOs. Do it. Stop ruining everybody's fun, you fucking wacko. I get it if you need to work, if you don't have any money. It's going to get bad economically out there. Tip people, tip the Postmates people. There's people are going to get fucked. And then they're going to come for you if you're less fucked. Keep the guns. Keep the bars on the windows. I'm telling you. I hope I'm wrong. But it's probably going to get hairy. And it's probably going to get tough. And if you can get out of a city, get out of a city. I can't. I got to be here broadcasting during the end of the world. But if you can get out, get out. Go to some ranch in Montana. I don't know. I can't tell you how to live. And if you're young and you have immunity or you had it and you got over it, this is the fucking time to travel the world, pussy. Get out there. Get out there. Take advantage of cheap flights. Go eat that Wuhan bat sandwich. Go spit in a stranger's mouth. You're young. You can take it. I wish I was young. I'm 35. And yes, I'm in great shape and I do triathlons. But there's other people that aren't. And I don't want to put them at risk. But if I was 22 and in the shape I never was, I would be really rocking out. I would be jetting all over this globe. Fuck yeah. Let me out of fucking college. And I'm sorry. I know it's very hard. Listen, my senior year of high school was great. It was one of the funnest years of my life. I was nominated for Homecoming King. I was extremely popular. Everybody loved me. Blah, blah, blah. That being said, I know that there's a lot of people now that their senior year of high school or college has been cut short. Whether some of them are athletes and they can't play their last season. Some of them might have been tapped in the skull and bones, and now that's not happening. I'm very sorry, and I know it's very tough, and a lot of lacrosse players aren't going to get to play, and a lot of people aren't going to get to go to the prom. But I say this, and I say this. Shut up. Italy's burning. There are countries in the world right now where they're choosing who lives and who dies. So sit down with your privileged little lacrosse rapist you've raised and sit him down and say, Tommy, listen, I know you're upset that you can't play, but let me show you the country of Italy. Remember when we went there 2 years ago? It's burning to the ground now because they didn't follow these rules. So there are people that have worse problems than you little prick. You're going to grow up and be fine. You're going to grow up and be fine, and you'll remember this pandemic, and you can tell your kids how tough it was that you didn't get to play your last season of lacrosse, which is a fake sport anyway that doesn't go anywhere. There's no professional lacrosse league. I mean, there's a few teams in Long Island, like the Long Island Lizards and stuff like that. But, I mean, that at that point, I would rather my kid get Wuhan and check the fuck out, not be in the Long Island Lizards. Let's get some statistics. Go to Drudge Report. Where are the headlines at right now? This is, again, Friday, 7:20 Pacific time in Los Angeles, California.
All right, we're at the Drudge Report. Here we go. You want some headlines?
Headlines right now, the top headlines.
It's an emergency in red.
Yeah.
Trump to be tested. Complete shutdown on table. Modern life turns surreal.
So that's the interesting thing. They're using these words now like complete shutdown. Today was national emergency. He had the press conference today, but they're using these words complete shutdown. Now, what does that mean? Click that. Let's see if they elaborate on what a complete shutdown looks like, because I think it might be the grounding of domestic travel. It might be checkpoints. It might be quarantine. It might be stay in your home. It might be all non-essential businesses will be closed. I'm wondering what that entails and what it looks like in a country as big as ours.
So this is a White House coronavirus expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Yeah, well, he's the we everybody else has a Jew. We have a WAP. We got a garlic knot. We have a fucking meatball giving us instructions here. Thank God. Can we get a Jew, please? You fucking morons. Yeah, Dr. Fauci. Hey, how you doing? You know, like coronavirus, like don't put your head over the meatball pot, because then your droplets from your nose fall into the pot. Then everybody gets sick. How did we get this goon? Jesus Christ. But so Fauci, they asked him a question. They said, listen, is a complete shutdown on the table? I think he said anything's on the table, right?
Yeah, it's pretty vague.
It's very vague. Yeah.
There's no explanation for what complete shutdown means.
How many deaths we got? What do we got? What do we got death-wise? What do we got case-wise? New York City's leading the cases right now.
So we got more than 2,000 people in the U.S. with the virus, and 43 have died as of right now.
2,000. We got a lot more than that. We got a lot more than that. I've been coughing. I don't know what the fuck I have. They tell me that I can't go anywhere and get tested. But I just had strep. I came off of strep. Maybe I got a little sinus infection during strep. I don't have a fever. So that seems to be the real thing, is the fever. Mm-hmm. If you're really hot, then you got to, but I'm self-isolating anyway. I'm quarantining. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do.
Mm-mm. It's raining here.
It's raining in LA. It's depressing. The Comedy Store shut down. The Improv shut down. There's still clubs in New York happening. What's going on over there? Do you people have a death wish? I know many of you are destitute in New York City. But God, it's really kind of gross to not realize the gravity of the situation. And, I mean, unless everyone is wrong, within a week or two, we'll all be looking back at the businesses that kind of stayed open, and we'll be like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Maybe not. I hope not. Maybe, again, I would like to be wrong about all this shit. I would like to be wrong, but I don't know. There's going to be a lot of pressure to speak to friends and family in the coming days and weeks. I'd like my audience to fight it and stay positive. There's no reason to make amends with people, reach out. There's no reason to build those bridges. It's fake. If you had to wait till a pandemic to call someone, you don't want to talk to them. Enough. Stop. Hey, man, how are you? So, this is crazy. Hang up. Go into the darkness. Let it become you. Unless you can get a little money out of them. Get a little change. Nothing wrong with greasing the wheel a little bit. Nothing wrong with throwing a guilt play for a little capital. Mm-hmm. That's what I say. Give them some, there are comics that are still out there, man. God bless them. But I just think right now, if you cannot work, if you cannot participate in getting people together in a room, just don't do it. How many cases does New York City have right now? New York seems to be a hot spot. I mean, New York City, I love it, but it's a petri dish of germs. The subways, the surfaces, forget it.
It's climbed over 400 today. There's
over just today, or now it's altogether it's over 400.
No, total over 400.
Yeah, we're gonna have a problem in New York City. They're gonna have an issue, and I don't see how it gets resolved without a quarantine. I don't know if they're gonna be able to keep people in their houses though. I don't know how they're gonna do that, but I guess they're gonna try. All these people, I was in Bristol Farms yesterday. I'm standing there next to Tyler, the Creator, because it's, I live right on the edge of Beverly Hills and the Hollywood Hills. And, people are at Bristol Farms, the rich are going and stockpiling crab legs in case it's the end. Mm-hmm. They're getting their almond milk, their free-range chicken. And I'm just watching everybody, buy all the food. And it's like, there's going to be food. folks. I think there's going to be food. I could be wrong.
Pavilion's closed.
A lot of stores closed, but there'll be food. I think there's going to be Postmates. I think they're going to stay open. I think those restaurants are going to stay open strictly to make and deliver food. They're going to make millions of dollars. They're going to make a mint. They're going to make a fucking mint right now. Why would you not just employ a chef or two to cook food and send it out? We do have a, we have been looking at some of these crazy projections where they're like, 70 or 150 million people end up getting the disease. Several million die with a mortality rate of around 3%. I mean, it's mind-boggling when you think about that stuff. Giannis Papas told me to watch an old Bill Gates speech, and I did today, which is terrifying, where Bill Gates kind of really called this whole thing so accurately that a lot of the people on the conspiracy side of Twitter are like, did he plan this? I think like Cedric the Entertainer reposted a video on Instagram where he's like, well, Bill Gates planned this shit. And then like D.L. Hughley was like, maybe he did. And then, there's some other comic, Gary Owen, who's like he's a white urban comic, I think. They were all kind of pumping that idea. Who knows? I don't know. I think Gates probably called it out pretty accurately. But none of them care. This is the problem, is like everybody says how, we got to prepare, we're not prepared, we're woefully underprepared, and then nobody prepares because nobody cares. It all goes back to it's a selfish country where if you're not being affected, I mean, dude, we watched, when you think about it, we watched this unfold in China for like over a month.
Yeah.
And did nothing.
Since like early January,
I mean, Trump put a travel ban on China, great, but he didn't get more tests here. Like Google's building a website now to test people or to help them realize if they have symptoms or not. But that could have been done. And I mean, listen, it's not Trump's fault, the coronavirus, but it does unmask a little bit, where Trump is weak. And he's weak in a pandemic. He's not the president you really want in a pandemic. You want somebody that is a little bit more cerebral in a pandemic. You go to bed a little easier with an Obama type in office than you do with Trump. Trump's great when the economy's roaring, but when, you're, and what's weird about this, because one of our other friends called me and said, Mecky is like, you've been through 9/11, you've been through other things. How does this differ? And I was like, well, in those periods of time, you saw a lot of compassion and empathy, human compassion, empathy. Now, because everybody's terrified of getting sick, you don't see any of that. People are terrified of each other. Somebody coughing makes them an enemy. So people are looking out for themselves and their families, and there's a dearth of compassion, togetherness, just being outside, being with other people. People are cut off from each other in a real meaningful way that, you didn't see during 9/11. They had the candlelight vigils and the hand-holding and the people coming out. And 9/11 was scary for a bunch of other reasons. People like, what the fuck? People were seeing jets rip up the sky going like, what's coming next? Is it SARS? Is it anthrax? Is this, that? Every Newsweek, every different cover was like, is it sarin gas? What's coming? What's the threat level? Is it burnt sienna? What does that mean? But you could go outside. You could talk to people. You could go out with your friends. You eventually could go to movie theaters and shows and concerts. I mean, life went back to normal. We're in the initial stages here of how big this disruption is going to be. But one thing I think that people can't fully appreciate is the end times feel of a society where everybody's cut off from each other, because it truly does feel like we're heading into this uncharted territory. And how we deal with this mentally, emotionally. These are all real questions, How is this going to affect people when they're cut off, when they can't work, when they can't go out, when they can't exercise in the way that they want, when they have to just stay home. How many marriages are going to fail because husbands and wives are going to have to talk to each other? You know? I mean, it's going to be a little crazy. All schools are they're letting them out. So now there's kids everywhere and parents some of them are still working. Like, what am I going to do? There's going to be roving bands of TikTokers prowling around. They're all immune. All these little fucking TikTok fucks are immune. They're not getting this. It's not affecting them. So they're going to be going out playing with dead bodies. You thought what Logan Paul did was bad? What about that times a trillion? Go look at the statistics. These little kids are going to be doing Michael Jackson fucking, what's that thing he does? What's the Thriller videos with real bodies? I'm telling you, it's going to happen. These little narcissists go on that app. They don't even blink, these TikTok fucks. They're craven, bitter, little monsters. And not bitter for any real reason. Just they're acidic, toxic little human beings. Black pill. They grew up believing in nothing. They care about nothing except likes and followers and views and money, merch. They believe in nothing. They're perfectly suited for this environment. They're going to play with dead boomer bodies and dance around the streets. They're going to dance around as the bodies burn. And you're going to learn to fear those little bastards. You're going to learn to fear those little TikTok fucks running around with their phones, documenting their brutality. Little gangs of TikTokers documenting what they do to the bodies. And you'll be sitting in your houses terrified, watching the TV. It's going to be rough, folks. That's at least what I see happening. I could be wrong, but again, am I ever? Have I ever been? You're going to see very soon just bodies, little TikTokers using real bodies like marionettes. And some of it will be artful. Mm-hmm. Some of it will be interesting, visually appealing, and stimulating. And you might say, oh, this isn't that bad, but they're bodies. These are just my thoughts. Unfiltered. You know, these are just the things that I think about, the things that need to be said that nobody else is saying. And it's going to be, we're going to have problems. We're going to have a lot of problems. But if you're locked up, you're going to need to have sex, and you're going to need to have it with a nicely shaved penis or vagina or penis that's been made out of clitoris, which they can do. Okay? Don't debate me on all this. It's not as important. Remember when the problem was the drag queens in the libraries?
Yeah.
That was fun. Remember when that was a big moral issue? Whether drag queens should read to kids? Now it's like everybody's gonna die. The engineers at Manscaped have spent the last 18 months creating the perfect ball hair trimmer. Man, they should have been working on a vaccine. And they've just released their new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. Smooth out your scrotum with new ceramic blade and Manscaped advanced skin-safe technology. It's funny. Let's see if the ads change at all as we head into the apocalypse. Like if they change the ads, you know, at all. Like, hey, spending a lot of time inside? Ha ha ha. Well, don't worry because Manscaped's got you covered. Don't worry. Eventually the military will leave your street and you'll be allowed to go outside. But right now, just shave it. There's a lot of fancy copywriting that means it won't nick you or snag your nutsack. That's what skin-safe technology is. You got to shave your balls. It's the best razor system you've ever owned. It features an LED light so you can get into all those nooks and crannies. I don't know how that helps, but whatever. They've also juiced this baby with 7,000 RPM motor. That's what you want near your cock is a nice big motor. The battery now lasts up to 90 minutes. You could shave your dick for 90 minutes. And you're going to have the time because the economy's collapsed. So this is just great ways to fill up your day now that you don't have a job. And you can't go outside because you're going to be killed by a roving band of TikTokers that are immune to the plague. The battery now lasts up to 90 minutes. And the charging stand is powered by USB. This couldn't be safer to use. Get 20. Oh, it's Ray Compass calling us. Should we answer it?
Oh, let's connect the Bluetooth real quick.
Hold on. Let's connect the Bluetooth.
Okay, turn your Bluetooth on.
How can I do it? He's calling me. We'll call him right back.
Okay.
Hold on. Get 20% off free shipping when you use the code Tim at manscaped.com. That's manscaped.com and use the promo code TIM for 20% off your first order. You've got nothing to lose, folks. 20% off free shipping. Manscaped, manscaped.com. Promo code Tim. You need this. You need it. And we're gonna use the Rodecaster.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go on Bluetooth. My Bluetooth is on. Rodecaster Pro, I connected to that. It says connected. Now all I have to do is call him, right?
Call Raymond.
We're gonna call Ray back now. He's in New York. Roseanne is also going to be on the show. I don't want to tease you, but we got big things coming up here. This is where we're really going to shine in the quarantine. And we're going to keep doing the show until we can legally not do it. Then I have to call Ben on FaceTime and then he'll upload. I mean, we're going to keep getting it out, folks.
Hi, Raymond.
What did that fat fuck do? He ate his phone? We'll wait for him to call back. But my point here is this. We're going to keep this show going, full steam ahead. We got a lot of people coming up. We did a nice little Corona special. We had Dr. Steve from O&A. He answered some questions. We had my friend's heartless fiance call, who's a nurse, who was like, this will help with Social Security because all the old people are going to die. Everybody was like, oh, my God. But that's that nurses and flight attendants don't see any value in human life. They don't care. Nurses see death every day, and flight attendants have made peace with their own death and the death of everyone on that vehicle. Flight attendants are sick. Have you ever looked in the eyes of a flight attendant? They're sick. They get up on Southwest and do little comedy routines. Hey, hey, hey. That's a sick job for sick people. To be up there at that altitude and not give a fuck, you freak. Drinking tomato juice and pineapple juice at 35,000 feet, getting whipped around by the hand of God. You're defying God every time that plane takes off. You monster. They don't care, flight attendants, and they know it. I knew a few flight attendants, drug addicts, straight up drug addicts. They are so pilled up, they don't even know they're on a plane, these fucking whores. And men. A lot of gay guys do the flight attendant job, too. It's just they just fuck and do drugs, and they all want that plane to crash. They hate landing. They love taking off because there's a chance the plane will immolate in the air. They hate landing. They're all fucking junked up. Druggies. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're in the midst of a plague. This is a sinus infection I have. I don't think it's corona. I don't have a fever. I've been coughing for like a month. You would have it by now.
Yeah.
Other people that have been around me would have it. I've just been coughing because I went to Toronto and I was smoking cigarettes and and then I had strep throat and that fucked me up. So I'm just trying to I'm not smoking cigs and I will smoke occasionally. I've not smoked cigs in like a month or 3 weeks. I'm not going to smoke them anymore. We need our lung capacity now. So I'm not smoking cigarettes. I need to build the lung capacity. Lungs, because this is a disease of the lungs. If you get it and it gets bad, you feel like you're drowning in there. It's not good. Nobody wants it. You got to stop the weed, too. I know a lot of you switch to edibles. Stop smoking the weed. I mean, it's, or don't switch to edibles and get off drugs. Be a person. Start thinking about what's important, like supporting this goddamn show and your family in that order. Because we're going to have a lot of problems here. Are they quarantining all of us? Let's try Ray one more time. What the fuck just happened? You think he just called me right before he just passed out in a corona haze?
Does he butt dial a lot?
Not really. Now I'm only hearing him in one ear. I wonder if he's being quarantined, like he's being put in.
He's being dragged away.
He's like, listen to me. Stop it. I was self-isolating. Don't put me in this. Are you a general? I want to be taken away by a general, not the National Guard.
Raymond Trump, I think.
His thing is so nice. He's like, hello, it's Raymond Kump. I can't come to the phone. Yeah. And then you see him like, what his real message should be. If his message sounded the way he looked, it would just be this. It would go, ah! Just he's in the throes of some nightmare. Considering a total complete shutdown, how many cases in Seattle and Portland? That's another hot spot. The Pacific Northwest is a big hot spot for this shit. Came out of a nursing facility, a nursing home up there. It's a real issue. Everybody's getting those texts saying you're the next to be quarantined. Everybody's like, I don't want to alarm you, but I will let you know that my sister works for the CDC, and she said that tomorrow they're putting a dome over Portland. You know, this is what everybody's saying. I don't want to alarm anybody, but I have a highly placed source in the government that says that tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, the military is going to come into your house and fuck you in your ass in front of everyone you know and upload it and put it on the internet. I don't want to alarm anybody. I don't want to alarm you. Hey, I don't want to alarm anybody, but I have a source right now that says that the government has decided to nuke Portland. Don't want to alarm anyone. That's happening tomorrow around 3. What does it say?
Seattle and King County, yeah, they got hit hard.
They got hit hard.
58 new cases today.
Yeah.
5 deaths.
It's a problemo.
County total is now 32 deaths and 328 total cases.
This is why we're trying to curb. You got to curb it. You got to curb this thing. You got to curb the transmission of this virus if you can by not going out. You can't go out. You can't talk to your friend. You got to stop with the drinks after work. Cut it out. Maybe it is. Maybe the virus is fake, and maybe they're using this as a way to institute martial law. But let's help them. No, I'm kidding. The virus is not fake. I mean, you can't look at Italy and say this is fake. You can't look at China and say this is fake. Now, I don't know where the fuck it came from. Maybe it is a bioweapon. Maybe it's not. I don't know. It's, you know, at this point, does it matter? Just get the fuck off stage and stop. You don't have to talk about your dick in front of a room full of 300 people. You can wait. That can wait. People are sick. This thing's a nasty fucking bug, dude. It's a nasty fucking bug. And it's coming. Coming for a lot of people. Seattle's fucked.
Yeah.
New York is fucked, too. Check L.A. What's California got?
Okay.
I think we're doing kind of okay here. I think we're doing okay. I could be wrong.
6 deaths, 247 cases currently.
In Los Angeles.
Los Angeles County, yeah.
It's a big county, but that still ain't great. 300 cases, confirmed cases in L.A. 6 deaths. The majority of these are going to be older people. That being said, some of them will be, autoimmune people that have, they're compromised, that have underlying conditions. But, who knows? We've got a lot of risk factors in the country. Fat people, smokers. I don't know.
We got 40 in L.A.
Well, 40 cases in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But there's so much more, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so much more. What do you think it really is? 4,000? Probably 10 times what they think, right?
It has to. If I got it, I would
least.
just stay inside. I wouldn't go to a hospital.
Well, that's what they're telling people to do. They're like, don't go to a hospital. And you're like, why? They're like, because this is fake.
Yeah.
They keep saying, they're like, why can I not go to a hospital? They go, because this is fake. This is pretend. This is just a way to.
Yeah.
Soon we're going to be broadcasting and you're going to see a butt of a gun pressed to my head. And the military is going to be behind us. And the military is going to read ads for Ridge Wallet. Wouldn't that be great? Generals just handing me ads for Ridge Wallet. And I'm like, hello. Colonel has a Ridge Wallet, don't you? Remember when it was just that the country was run by satanic pedophiles? Those were the good old days. Yeah. Those were the good old days. A corrupt oligarchy of politicians who murder and blackmail each other while they steal the resources, pillage, destroy the planet. But you still got to go to Disney World and TGI Fridays. Now you can't even do that. You can't have a 3-for-all. which is mozzarella sticks, buffalo wings, potato skins. Can't even do that anymore. Everyone's going to become a fucking conspiracy head. I can't wait till everybody starts discovering Reddit and 4chan. What if the whole country goes on 4chan? What if the whole country goes on Reddit? What if the entire country just fucking goes off the fucking deep end, gets fucking red pilled and starts going crazy? I mean, it could happen. Some of them are. Some of them are going to go down the Bachelor wormhole or whatever.
Sure.
There's lots of places online you can reside. I don't think it's healthy to spend all your time reading about the demons that run the show.
Mm.
But you do have to peek behind the curtain, take a look at a demon every now and then. We were in CVS today, and it's a very cavalier attitude. Nobody's got masks on.
Mm-mm.
The pharmacists, we saw one mask. The majority of them do not have masks on.
Mm-mm.
No gloves. It seems pretty lax. Now, you wonder if in a week or two that's going to be like, oh, boy, I can't believe we were fucking that lax.
Right.
It might be. I don't know. But, I mean, I could also tell you this. You know, we all got to keep our wits about us, folks, because we're going to get over this. We're going to get through this. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to get through it. And I know that a lot of people didn't feel comfortable because Trump looks like he kind of has it. But he looks puffy and sniffly. You know, but I will say to all of you out there, we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. And then we're going to be as selfish and as unprepared as we were for this. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry, TikTokers. When you grow up and your pandemic hits, we will have done nothing to prepare. Trust me. I'm telling you right now. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But we're going to get through it. We're going to fight through it. We're going to get through it the way we get through everything in this country. By sitting on our fat asses and eating. We're going to get through it the way we get through everything. By not leaving our homes and watching streaming services and putting things in our mouth. That's how we're going to get through it. Don't worry about it. Don't give it a second thought. If there's one thing that people in this country can do, they can sit on their couch. God, do I have faith in this population of people. Raymond! Raymond, you're on the podcast. You called in the middle of us recording. Hello, Raymond?
Okay. He should be connected now.
Yes. You're on the podcast. You called in the middle of us recording.
Well, you called me. I didn't know. Hello, everybody. How are you?
You called me first. I called you back twice.
Oh, I butt dialed you. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, great to be on the show again.
What's going on? You fucking butt dial. What a sweetheart. Update us from New York. You're our point. You're our connection in New York. What's going on?
There's a lot of hoarding going on. I mean, you go into these stores, the shelves are pretty bare. I got toilet paper. I don't know what they're talking about. I got plenty of toilet paper. It's there for the taking. But other stuff, corn, rice, things like that, quinoa. It's definitely, if you try to get anything like fucking Whole Foods, it takes like 2 weeks.
Now, you and your lover have a 50-pound bag of rice, you said?
I got, I believe, a 20-pound bag. Let me check.
What the fuck
I'm looking at it right now.
do you do with a 20-pound bag of rice?
I mean, look, you open it up and you just kind of like you put your mouth into it. You chew it. No, I mean, it's just in case there's a disruption. Who knows? I'm an Eagle Scout, so I'm prepared.
Right. I love that you were shitting on everybody last week for preparing. Now you're getting bags of rice.
Well, no, I was shitting on the panicking.
Right. The facts on the ground have changed.
I mean, it's just.
Are they going to be able to keep everyone in their house if they do a nationwide lockdown, quarantine type thing? Aren't there too many people, too many guns? I mean, do you think is a quarantine? I don't know. You might know better than me. You might not. Does a quarantine mean everyone has to stay in their house, or does it mean you just can't leave it? Like, can you take a walk? What's the deal?
Well, I'm not sure which terminology is what, but I think in Italy right now they can't leave.
Right. Yeah.
Because the whole there's that video of them all playing the tarantella or whatever to like calm each other down.
Yeah, they're on the porch, they're on their balconies banging tambourines.
Well, I mean, in New York City, the NYPD will just take a fucking nice stick to your face and just if you try to get out of line. But in other parts of the country, I mean, it's not as if you live in some rural area where you're like you're 10 minutes away from the next house. I mean, it's not as big a deal if you leave your house. I mean, whatever. But will they be able to lock everyone? I mean, they'll be able to lock people down in the areas where it matters, probably.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you think people are going to like start shooting their way out of a blockade?
Who knows, dude? You know this country. Who knows? There's a sizable amount of people on Twitter who think that, this is a cover for Trump is going to go arrest Obama and all the celebrities for the pedophile stuff.
He is a pedophile. I don't understand this. Where are we going? Like fucking what's his name? People are on like I'm seeing this shit. And it's just like this QAnon rambling. It never gets to the point of QAnon people. And it's fucking there's no one has an end game. No one has a fucking reason. It's just like the liberals. I mean, some media guy made a funny tweet like, "Yeah, no, we did this. The media did this, so we can cancel all the events we cover."
Right.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just fucking I don't. I mean, you know me. I'm down for a good. I believe.
I'm like half the.
I believe anything.
I'm like halfway. Like the QAnon people, I'm with them halfway. They're like, everybody in power is a satanic pedophile. I'm like, okay. And then they're like, and they're all going to jail. I'm like, no. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, sadly, no. I don't see any. I don't see any proof that's happening. But yeah,
there is literally nothing.
So what they said is that this is a false flag or whatever you want to call it. So they're closing the schools and the sports and all the arenas so that they can go arrest Obama and Hillary, and that Obama and Hillary won't launch attacks. It's safer that the elites won't.
Obama doesn't have a missile launcher on his back. What are you talking about? You're the goddamn commander-in-chief. If you want to arrest Obama, I mean, it's bad form, but you can do it.
But, me and you have had this talk. This is what happens when your whole life is pretty mainstream. You believe mainstream things. Then all of a sudden you get red-pilled overnight. Your mind melts, and then you can't cope with the world as it is, and you start concocting stories about what's fucking really happening. People can't.
I would love to see Bill and Hillary the way these people see Bill and Hillary.
Right.
Like, it's like that Batman movie where like the fucking take a neurotoxin, and then the Batman looks like they just fucking must like what do you think they're secret agents?
Right.
They're fucking like they've had people killed, but like I don't know, like, they think there's some like fucking like epic chess match of like fucking spies going on here. It's just a bunch of pedophiles and crooks and people who want pipelines. It ain't that fucking sexy.
Yeah, it ain't that sexy, folks.
I mean, why would they tank the Dow?
Right.
Why would they tank the stock market?
It's a good point.
Who is this helping?
Well, I'll tell you why. Do you want to know the answer? Because I read it on Twitter. They did it because I'll tell you. Someone from Chase told this guy on Twitter that we're in a transitional economy. Trump's trying to get rid of the Fed, so they have to tank the economy in order to rebuild the new economy without a Fed.
So what?
Yeah.
I mean, what do they think the Fed is? It's not like the Fed.
I don't think they know, Ray.
The Fed will basically print money at will for you. What's the problem here?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but I mean, I don't understand why any president was like, I mean, Trump is crazy in the sense that he got mad that they were like raising the rates like a quarter of a basis point. But most of these presidents, I mean, they'll do whatever they tell them to do. They're not fucking running the Morgans anymore, Rockefeller.
Well, listen, you asked a question and you got an answer.
Yeah.
Why were they because they always have an answer, and the answer is one of 9 possibilities, and that's the answer. And they've gone from the virus.
I mean, people like fucking. It's weird. These leftists are the ones. But first of all, these leftists are all like a week ago they were ready like the fucking guillotine Goldman Sachs in Central Park supposedly. and now they're all just freaking out because Trump didn't, getting a fucking face mask. But yeah, they keep repeating it like it's the end of monetary policy, and it's just like I don't They really think there's more to this. They really think that people don't know what they're doing. Ben Bernanke barely knew what he was doing at all.
Yeah.
Like, these people are just riding by the seat of their fucking coattails.
That's what it's so hard for these people to understand, that the people at the top, it's not necessarily like this well-orchestrated thing. It's actually just fucking like, hold on to your hat. We're just going. We don't know what's going to happen, and let's just fucking cover our tracks as we go.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the only thing that's happening, but in no way, half of that shit was like, we don't want to be the guys who tank the U.S. economy for 100 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to, politics aside, you don't want to be the asshole who fucking just dropped the ball. I mean, now Trump seems to be a little immune to that. He doesn't really seem to. I mean, now he's getting a little bit in line, maybe, but like he doesn't seem to give a shit about his.
Well, you know what it is. I don't think people fully understand the level of indifference, and I think that is what bothers people. It's like there's a great line from a song. It's about John Gawker is a folk singer, and he goes, it's not hatred. There's no hate from her. The facts of indifference are cruel. And it's like, ooh. I don't think people truly comprehend that these people don't care. They're sociopaths. Yeah. It isn't this well-planned, 3D chess thing. It's people that are just trying to, as Russ Baker said, preserve themselves at all costs.
Yeah.
They're just trying to preserve themselves.
Yeah. The only thing I find unusual about Trump, I've said this before, it's like, he didn't have like 11 billion, but he probably has a couple billion, right? I mean, he's not all fake.
Right.
And so it's like, and all these scams that I believe he's doing. I mean, fucking making money at Mar-a-Lago and all this shit. But like to the tune of tens of millions, maybe even 100 million to it. But like, what's crazy is that like, when you already have a few billion, you're gonna like. I'm not saying you care that much about the presidency, but you care so little that you'll just degrade your name for history for like money that really doesn't mean that much to you. That's the funny thing about him. It shouldn't mean that much.
Right. Well,
I was just completely broke, and it was all just paper.
I don't think he's completely broke, but I also think he doesn't think he's degrading his name. I mean, it's like the George Carlin line when he goes, sociopaths have very high self-esteem, Like, I tend to believe he thinks this is the only way to cement his position in history. I mean, I don't think, he would have gotten into history, the books for The Apprentice, certainly not in the way that he's in there now. But I do think this could be the end of his political career. I mean, this could get very bad.
Sure.
The people on the
We might have missed the window. We might have missed. I mean, I don't want to buy too much immediately into like the worst case scenario, but there are a few different people out there, like scientists saying like containment is that's over. Like we missed that. We missed containment.
Right.
And like now they're talking about like 1 million dead in America possibly. And it's like that ain't gonna look great in November or October when you're running.
It's not gonna look great.
Like,
but the guy running against him is like has full onset dementia. Joe Biden.
Wait, you don't think there's a good chance? I mean, I'm not saying definitely, but I think there's a even mining chance maybe that with all this hysteria, people start shifting on Bernie.
I hope so, and I mean, there's that debate. So I think what Bernie has to do. See, Bernie. Yeah. I think one of the things about Bernie kind of lacks this killer instinct. Where, like, Bernie has to leave Biden on the floor in that debate. He has to leave him on the floor, and he has to, make him really expose him for what he is, which is kind of like this mentally fucking, like he's incapable of doing this job, And I think Bernie has to...
He's rotted, Did you see him today? He had another video out with a white background where he's just blathering.
Yes.
And like he's not even facing the camera.
No, he's on speakerphone.
Like, yeah. It's almost like that. Like that's the terrorism, not the virus. Like fucking dangling him in front of him.
Well, it's a perfect storm now of like everything that could go wrong. It's like you have a pandemic. You have a country that's $20 trillion in debt. We have foreign wars and entanglements. We have a bloated, corrupt oligarchy. And the two people that are running it are elderly men that both may be kind of mentally unfit for the job. Like, there's no new blood. Nobody's young. Nobody's interesting. Nobody's exciting. Everybody, I mean, it's like, you want to talk about the end of an empire. It's like it ends with these elderly kleptocrats, other than Bernie, just trying to steal the rest of this. They're just trying to loot. And you look at Biden's son and the Ukraine, it's like kind of hilarious that like everybody in Washington's kid works for a Ukrainian natural gas company. I mean, it's like, it's clearly just late stage, like, let's loot. It's their version of going into a grocery store. It's a smash and grab. And I think Bernie has to leave them on the floor in that debate. And then this is Bernie's time. If there was ever a time for a guy like Bernie, it's right now.
Can you imagine if he comes there and just shits the bed? Just fucking really like, and Biden just comes out strong. I mean, it would be so. All these. I mean, I like Bernie. I hope he fucking does take care of this guy. But it would just be. He needs to. You're right. He has a great, not great oratory sense, but like. When he gets going, it's fine, but he doesn't usually use it against someone.
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't lean in. You said the best thing when I'm like, hey, I think it's the beginning of the end of the Trump presidency because it can't be funny anymore with the circumstances. You said something brilliant. You go, he'll find a way to be funny about dead bodies. Remember that? You're like, he'll find a way to make the deaths of your neighbor funny. Like, that's how.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. What a dark thought. Trump's roasting the dead. You know? Like the next election, he's like, that didn't work out too well for those people. Hey, you didn't vote for me? Didn't work out too well for you. Now you're all burning in the street.
Do you think there's any chance he tries to bomb his way out of this? Politically speaking. I don't mean like the virus.
What are you going to bomb? Seattle? Portland? You're going to bomb the
No, I mean like I mean to deflect from the fact that, like, you know, if October comes along or September, October,
I mean, I understand what you're saying. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. You know, there's a lot of people saying, oh, they'll cancel the election, but it's like, here's the deal. It's all unprecedented. You don't know what he's going to do. I hope to God this is a 3-month thing, 2 to 3 months. I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be more like 6 months. But
you think 6 months of being stuck inside?
I don't know if it's 6 months of being stuck inside, but I think it's 6 months of disruption. You know,
sure.
Disruption.
China is pretty much China is like getting back on track.
I mean,
but then they're also able to just kind of like throw, like,
you know, they'll throw. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had that hotel collapse on people. I mean, China gets back on track. They'll just torch a city. You know, they'll just torch a city and be like, back to business. You know. I mean, dude,
it's hard for us to rag too hard about having, you know, democracy, though.
No,
I mean, I'm not saying it's not better, but
I know
that much better with it.
But we're sentimentalists, so we're gonna have like a bunch of vigils. Yeah. There's gonna be Coronavirus the musical. You know, it's gonna be a different process than China, who's just like, okay, that's done. Next.
Yeah.
You know, Ray Kump. Well, one more question. What do you have to say?
No, I'm saying like this versus 9/11. Like, there's definitely like a bigger scope to it.
Yes.
But I don't know if it has the same punch.
It does. I'll tell you why. 9/11, you could see human compassion and empathy. Now people are scared of each other. When someone coughs, they become your enemy. That does a lot. It's isolating. It's lonely. In 9/11, in that time, you had these vigils. You had people going out. You had people connecting with other people. We're eliminating that now, and I'm telling you right now, it's going to be fucking wild to watch people just go online. People are spending enough time online. Now we're just locking people in and saying, go on the internet. We're going to see people go. We're going to see a large portion of the country will become schizophrenic in the next 90 days.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't know.
Exciting time.
Where could they...
Look, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ray Kump. You can listen to my podcast, Kump, and wherever we get podcasts, and also our Loves Disgusting. So enjoy. Thanks for having me.
He's got a Patreon. It's called What's Your Patreon?
Patreon /Rake Hump. You can just go to my Twitter page. It's on there.
It's on his
Rake
Twitter
Hump.
page, folks. Support him.
Thank
You need to be a patron of the arts right now and weird the arts. You know?
Much appreciated.
Thank you, Ray. I'll talk
God
to you
bless
soon.
you, sir.
Thank you. God bless
Bye.
you. And God bless America. Well, there it is, folks. Quick little update from New York from the Great Ray Kump. You know, it is Friday, 8:06. This comes out Saturday, Sunday in New York, 12 a.m., 9 p.m. here on the West Coast, but it's a Sunday show. So we don't know where we're at. We don't know where we're going. We don't know what's happening. We don't know when and if the quarantines are coming. We're just sitting here waiting just like you, broadcasting into the night, going into the darkness head on with good spirits, high hopes. We believe that we'll get through this. I mean, this is just what we do. We'll get through it. We'll sit. There'll be a lot of sitting. We'll get through it with some good conspiracy mongering on every side, either side. And there'll be some death and there'll be some destruction, and there'll be destruction, there'll be disruption, there'll be, hopefully it's not the end of society. Hopefully it's not martial law, end times, things like that. I don't know. Hopefully it's not Contagion. I mean, we watched Contagion the other day. That movie sucks. It's not good. Disease movies are never that good. But, on the flip side of it, we are here to provide you with the analysis. We're going to bring the experts on. Roseanne's coming on. We're bringing on the people that you need to hear from at this moment. We brought my friends, some chick he's dating who's a nurse on. Brought Dr. Steve from Opie and Anthony, the Great Ray Kump in New York City, giving us updates. He's our New York bureau chair of our news service. But this is it, folks. This is the news. I am the anchor. This is the news. This is the new reality. You might not love it. You probably don't. There's negatives to it, but let's also embrace some of the positives. You're going to get some time now. Comedy's canceled. Let's enjoy that for a few weeks. Let's enjoy Netflix not taping another special for a little while. Might be nice. I'm hoping to God that everything gets back up and running soon because we're all going to lose our fucking minds. So let's take 2 months. Let's sit this out. Let's see what happens. We're going to keep podcasting, and then let's come back on the other end of this strong. Go back on the road. Go back on tour. See what happens. I mean, 2 months is a real fucking Pollyanna-ish, lofty, aspirational timeline. But who knows? Maybe it won't be as bad. How are people that handling this?
Pretty underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I mean, even at Sprouts last night in Eagle Rock, you were behind Tyler the Creator in Bristol Farms.
Yeah.
In Eagle Rock at Sprouts, I was behind Badger from Breaking Bad. So you can kind of see the class disparity there.
Yeah.
With who were around. But no one really, people are just kind of waltzing around, talking on the phone, making jokes about Corona, but just grabbing food. No one seems to really, even at CVS, did people seem to be
That was
really
how
care?
it was in the beginning of Italy.
Yeah.
The beginning of Italy, people were like, oh, the coronavirus. Yeah, cappuccino.
Just making jokes.
Cappuccino, Florida latte, abba. And now they're just banging tambourines on their fucking patios. It's a nightmare. So I don't know. I don't know which way we're going, but Germany seems okay. How many cases in Germany right now? Germany seems like they're doing okay. I don't know.
3,675 cases and 8 deaths, and 46 have recovered so far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. 3,000 cases, 3,500 cases. How many cases in Italy? Let's go look at Italy, because that seems to be, outside of China, I think Italy is the hardest hit.
Italy has, just this past week, 14,000 new cases, but they have 17,000 cases.
So what does that mean? 17,000 in total?
Yeah. But like this past week, 14,000 new cases, yeah.
Yeah, so they are being ravaged. And Jesus Christ, I feel horrible. That's fucked up. Yeah, they're being ravaged. The country of Italy is going to take a while to come back from this. You know?
Yeah, if you look at the map, it's all over the country.
Yeah.
Looks like Milan and everywhere up there got hit hard. Rome only has 215.
I wonder if there were some rich people that got the fuck out of Italy. You know?
Yeah.
I wonder if there was anybody who said, let's get out of here. I don't know. Nobody knew how bad it was going to get, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody could know. Nobody could know. We're all just fucking waiting. You know? For the end. TimDillonComedy.com. No live dates. Don't buy any tickets to anything. Chill out. Relax. Buy them. Stop messaging me and asking me, should I buy tickets? Buy them in a month or two. Listen, buy them when I'm coming. Don't buy anything right now. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody fucking knows what's going to happen. As of right now, you know, Philly's canceled. Des Moines canceled. Minnesota's canceled. Those are the only things that are canceled. Everything's still on the books right now, but I would not buy tickets right now because I don't know what the fuck is going on, and neither do you. And I don't know which one of you. Most of these clubs give refunds. Some of them will just give you new tickets. I don't know. I'd rather not. I'd rather just tell everybody to just chill the fuck out right now and buy tickets when we're back up and running. I don't know how long this is going to be. If you want to support us, patreon.com, The Tim Dillon Show. Buy the stuff, get the Rich Wallet, get the Manscaped, support the sponsors on the show. It's a great way to support the show. Patreon, you get one extra episode every single week. We're going to start live streaming to YouTube. That's going to come very soon. We're going to start putting together more and more different types of Corona specials. We got Roseanne coming up. I'm a huge fan of her. I love her. We got a lot of people that are going to come up on the program. So, again, you know, our live podcast in May is sold out with Ray Comper. April or May. I think it's May. It's early May. Hopefully that happens. Let's see. But, you know, Tim J. Dillon, Dillon on Instagram and Twitter. Get on there. Subscribe to the Tim Dillon Show on YouTube if you can. We don't care who you are. You could be a QAnon head. You're welcome here.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You know, we don't think you're right. You're right about some things, not about others. You could be a violent communist. You're welcome here. We welcome everyone. ISIS, get in here. You nut. Everybody needs content. Everybody needs content. Because that's all we have left. Get a podcast or lube it up. We're in the darkness now. Goodbye.